Hey guys, welcome back. I have the final two wars of this season for you today. Both are lighter wars, so I put them together again. First up here in War 11, we were actually facing the number 2 ranked alliance at that time. And we forgot to set bans, so we were coming in at a little bit of a deficit going into this war, but there was kind of a lot riding on this war. Obviously, defeating the number 2 alliance in the Masters bracket is bound to shake some things up, so a lot happening here. First up, I am on path 1 in section 1. I just have this overseer here. And basically, my strategy on that fight was just to obviously not hit him more than one time after he had thrown the special, because in that case, he would have auto-blocked and then he could have parried me and it would have been a bad time. So I was relying on countering my openings by either his heavy attack or his special one to lock in spores with my heavy. So yeah, not too bad. This fight here, obviously, you guys have seen a bunch of times this season. Manthing on 20. I did make a mistake there at the beginning, and I don't know what I was thinking. I knew that he was invisible. I knew that Mystic had triggered, but I don't know. I just went for it, and I got hit. But all in all, he's going down pretty fast. It's going okay, so this will end the fight right here. And then I am going to be moving on to path 3 in section 2, where I just have this MODOK. So like I said, this is a lighter war. I took this MODOK a few wars ago, explosive personality, so I don't want to hit into his block more than 5 times, and I'm going to try to not hit into his block at all. And MODOK is pretty willing as an AI to kind of go in immediately after hit, so I'm able to stay close, just get lights in to manage the power. There, I was slow on that heavy, so he was able to get me with a special one, but as you can see, I barely did any damage at all. So yeah, that is about it. He is about to go down, and that wasn't too bad. And finally, I will be moving on to this strike counter Nimrod, which is Buffet and Chitinous Thorns. I take this note a lot with Omega when there's a Sorcerer on it. And I've taken this fight one time before with Nebula. And my plan going into this fight, as you can see, I put power back boosts on and, all that good stuff. My plan was to build up and throw special 3. Because in my opinion, it's better in war to prioritize the ability accuracy reduction than it is to just nuke the fight down. But as this fight is going on, I'm having a little bit of trouble with some of my inputs. I think honestly they were fine. It was nerves more than anything, but I'm like here I was gonna dex it and I got a little nervous. So at this point I'm thinking like, let me just end this fight. And I end up going ahead to parry. I transfer all my shocks over and he dies really quick. So it ended up being totally fine. We finished up that war with a win, and then we will be heading into our final war of the season, which, by the way, pulling off a win against the number 2 alliance in the Alliance War rankings without placing defender bans felt really good. Our whole alliance is really excited about that, so it was pretty cool. But moving on to the final war of the season, here we are facing Matrix, and I have another light war like I mentioned, so I just have this fight here in section 1. I'm on path 3. Basically this is just Hurt Locker, and it does have ionized armor on it, but that doesn't really matter to me at all. I did power start 1 and put on science boost just so I could get the fight over with as quickly as possible. And so I will be going ahead and just doing a special 2 and then a single special 1, and that will finish her off. Okay, so now I will be moving on to my last Manthing on Node 20 for Season 34. I have a greater special 3 boost on that I put on for Sorcerer just to be safe, and then also to carry over to this fight. So I don't have much to say about this fight that hasn't already been said this season. This was a pretty clean attempt at it. And yeah, that's about all I really have to say. I will just kind of let it go. Okay, so moving on to my final assigned fight of this war, I'm taking Kingpin on 22, which is Power Snack and Backup Recovery. So once he reaches 50% health, he will gain a burst of power. And I have Dex off, so I don't need to worry about any additional power gain aside from just the Backup Recovery portion. And basically, the only real concern here is for him to throw an unblockable special 2 when he's in overpower. Right here, I intended on countering that special 1 with a heavy, but I was too close with Dex off for it to land, so I took a hit on that. His Backup Recovery just triggered, and all my spores are falling off. It's okay, like there's not much that can really go wrong at this point. I'm just going to try to get my spores back up and finish him off. Okay, so as I mentioned, that was my last assigned fight for this war. I was back up in Section 2, but my backup was needed today. We had an EMP apocalypse that just had, you know, a couple things go wrong in the first couple of attempts. So he is currently at 4 charges, which is kind of scary. I'll be using iBom his Defiance, so I don't need to worry about the EMP modification portion of this node. And I also don't have to worry about Burden of Might because I don't have any buffs that can expire. So since he is at 4 charges, I cannot eat a light blocked attack or I will get stunned, and I don't want to do that. So basically I'm playing this fight like I can't take any blocked hits from his basic attacks at all, and I will just be going for a special 2, special 1, hoping that 1 round of acid burn finishes him off. And yeah, that's about it. It was kind of a scary last war of the season, but I felt confident with the game plan, and I practiced a little bit beforehand, making sure that I felt good, had some power backs on that helped me out right there on that special 2. I am just really watching for Bubble Shield here. So yeah, he went down, and that was a relief that I didn't die to a defender that had 30% health. But we ended up losing the final war to Matrix, unfortunately. They did play really well. And yeah, that is a wrap for season 34. It's been a season full of ups and downs. I'm kind of glad it's over, to be honest, for that reason. I've just not had my best season, as you guys have all seen. But yeah, I still had fun. I still played with a really awesome group of people and really don't have much to complain about. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.